way I step, something in my jeans. And FOINOY, you know that's the team, huh?
Peace. This is your brother Aidan X, and welcome to the processing class. Peace. This is brother Aidan X. Today I got a very, very special guest. I got sister Aneesa Muhammad, not Ase Ena, Aneesa Muhammad. Yes, ma'am. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you, sister.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
The first question I'd like to ask you is, how did you get the teachings? Were you a nation baby, or did you get some other type of way?
Nation baby. I'm a third generation nation baby. First and foremost, Assalamu alaikum family. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. I have witness that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. And thank you so much, Brother Aidan, for allowing me to be on your podcast.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Privy to Allah. I am a nation baby, third generation. So my grandfather, grandmother, my parents, and then me. So I will say this though, even though it's been in my veins my entire existence, even prior to my existence, just kind of like flowing into everybody's DNA. Allah makes it so that everybody has to choose Islam for themselves, no matter what. Like, no matter what, everybody has to choose it for themselves. So I can say that I recited in, what was that, 2026 now, almost 27. I recited when I was 16. So that was like 2011, 2012, I recited, like June, I believe. However, being that I was a nation baby, I was like, I'm 16, it's time to recite. But I really didn't get it. So that was when I recited. However, Allah then puts you through trials that makes you then be clear and understand what you walked yourself into. And that didn't happen until 2020 of May, during Ramadan.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Are there benefits to being born in a nation? Because I always say, man, I wish I was born, because man, I was stupid as hell, growing up. So what's the benefits of being born in it?
The major benefit of being born in a nation is that I never knew no God outside of Allah in the proper name. That's from Muhammad. Like, I've never known anything outside of that. Like, never. It didn't even cross my mind to like white Jesus. What do you mean? Minister Farrakhan. I don't know what that is. I know it exists, but like it really didn't, like Christmas wasn't a problem. So where people be like, didn't you miss? No, I have Savior's Day. I have everything I need, actually. So there is a major benefit with growing up in the nation, and it does give a certain passion that really only comes with experience. And everybody gets it one way or another, whether you came in the nation 3 years ago, stay long enough. That passion, that fire, it'll get in there real quick. So definitely it gives a certain type of passion and fire. And the word is kind of like it's like written in your DNA. So it does make it slightly more easy to be able to have a question and answer it. Being that it's all I know, my mind isn't necessarily bogged. Thank you. My mind isn't necessarily like fighting between like two different worlds. My world, I only know this world. I only know Islam. Anything else outside of Islam that I've known is because I stepped out to see what it was like. Not because I was introduced to it by like my parents or anything. Yeah. So when like certain questions are then asked, because my mind is not thinking about anything else, I'm kind of able, or nation babies in general are kind of able to answer that question because it's just all we know.
Yes, ma'am. What is in your perspective, what is the Nation of Islam? Because some people they probably see us on our Explore page and they may be like, what the hell is this? So what is it like in your perspective? What is the Nation of Islam? Is it just a militant church? Because that's what I used to think.
You thought it was a militant church?
Yeah.
The Nation of Islam is, I'll put it in the minister's words. So the Nation of Islam is all of us. He actually said it in his last interview when they were on BWON, when they were introducing the executive council and all that stuff. Somebody asked like how do I, get back into the ranks and stuff like that? And he said, once you're in the ranks, you never leave the ranks like the nation. You can't leave the nation. It's all of us. Now we could go outside the guidelines. We could be breaking restrictive laws. We could not be doing what we're supposed to do. But the nation is all of us. It's a family. It's like saying, what is America? Everybody inside of it is what is America. Like, everybody in it is what makes it. So the Nation of Islam, in like the big scheme of things, without any division, is all of us. Now we're looking at it like FOI, MGT, captains, lieutenants, stuff like that. The Nation of Islam is where we come to learn how to be a God. It is a training site. It's a gym to learn how to be a God.
Yes, ma'am. With you being born, a quote unquote nation baby, many people probably ask, many people probably think you grew up in a real disciplined household. So like, many people have this perspective of they don't want to join the Nation of Islam or even studying teachings because it looks to some people, man, they may be like, that's too damn disciplined. 1 meal a day, because I wasn't born in the nation. I was eating 5 meals a day. I was an all F student. I was, coming home whenever I wanted to. So how was that discipline, growing up with the teachings?
Well, I'll put it like this. So we're taught that Islam is not a religion, it's a way of life. So again, growing up, because it was all I know, it didn't really seem like I was being disciplined or like my parents were strict. It was like, no, you can't spend the night at such and such house. I was like, you know what? I get it. Like, I get it. No, I can't spend a night at such and such house. No, you can't. You're a 12. No, you can't walk to the corner store. You can get snatched up. It was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, that makes sense because people do get snatched up. So it wasn't really, I never really grew up feeling like Islam was forced upon me. Like, I'm not even going to say never really. I never felt like Islam was forced upon me. We live in a house, everybody in here goes to the mosque. Like, it wasn't an option. I don't give you the option of like what to necessarily eat. Like, you come in the kitchen, mommy makes dinner, this is what's being prepared. So then on Sunday, everybody gets up and we go to the mosque. Just like you get up and you go to church, because it was just our everyday life. And my parents didn't make it. They were very youth-minded, which I really like. I thank Allah for them so much when it comes to the amount of like family and love they made sure that we had. And my mother my father's a student assistant minister. He's been a student assistant minister my entire existence. And my mother has been a captain why am I getting all these notifications? Lord have mercy. Okay. And my mother has been a captain for like 25 years. So like my whole life. And prior to that, she was a lieutenant. So she's been in some level of authority my whole life. But I never felt like my parents were forcing religion upon me, especially because they were so youth-minded and family-minded. Everywhere we went, it was, and any mosque that we've ever went to, it was always, how do we instill love and family here? So when you instill love and family in places, like love is not meant to be forced upon, it's meant to be shared. So I just felt like this is family. I never felt like I was being forced to be a Muslim. It's just how we lived. For example, my father, this goes to like the youth-minded piece and wanting everybody to kind of be together in that love and family dynamic. When we were younger, I wasn't in a public school till I was 9. So I was homeschooled and all of my siblings were homeschooled up until then. And Um, the other children also, their parents didn't want them to go to a public school either. So my father, working a full-time job, in the mornings, he said, okay, this is what we're going to do. All the children can come here. It was like 10, 11 children between like the ages of 5 to 12, something like that. And he taught all of us math, science, all of that stuff.
Wow.
In our living room. Like, that's not even normal for a man to do.
It's not.
It's not normal. But the love that they instilled of just like Islam is not a religion, it's a way of life. So bring the children here and we're going to do this and we have fun. We had so much fun. So yeah, I can't say, like, I know some people can maybe say like my parents were strict, or they grew up strict. I just can't give that perspective. So I'm going to give a different perspective of like, I grew up just loving Islam because I love my life.
Wow, praise be to Allah. Yes, ma'am. Let's get into the questions that everybody's probably wondering. My wife just registered. She gets these all the time. Are women oppressed and abused and forced in Islam?
I'll put it like this.
Yeah.
No, did you finish it? You finished your question?
Yeah, it's a two-parter. The second part is, do you guys have to wear that thing on your head? I hear that all the time. You guys got to wear that thing on your head, or the burqas, or are you covering up? Is a man forcing you to do all that?
The only man forcing me to cover my hair is Allah God. That's it. That's it. And what was the first question?
Are women oppressed, abused, forced in Islam, specifically the Nation of Islam? Are women taught to be less than man, walk 10 paces behind man?
No. Now, if you see that, just be clear, that's not what we're taught.
Mm-hmm.
If you see a man disrespecting his wife and he claims to be an FOI, he wasn't taught that. Now, this goes to like how you have Arab culture and you have Islam. So Arab culture, when you go to certain places in the Middle East, they might have their wife 10 steps behind them. They might have their women praying outside while they're praying in the masjid. Is that Islam? No, because I ain't never heard Prophet Muhammad say none of that. I can't find that nowhere in this Quran where it said that. That's Arab culture. That's just a person that just don't like women. Yes, and does believe that they are less than. So as far as what the Nation of Islam teaches, what Islam teaches, we are taught that the woman is the second self of God. Now, what does that mean? Right? Because everybody says it, but they think it as like number two, like second meaning number two. Minister Ava said, no. And actually the minister said it as well. No, it's 1 + 1 = 2. So you have the creator of the heavens and the earth. And after his self-creation, and he took all that eons of time that we're taught. And I think an eon is like 1 billion years. And we're just taught eons. We don't even know how many eons. So after he took all these eons of time of being alone in the triple darkness of space and created himself, his best bet afterwards wasn't to create the sun. It wasn't to create what they call man's best friend, a dog. He created woman. And let's specify, he created a Black woman. I'm pretty sure that Black one was the most beautiful thing because he was in darkness for a long time. He like, listen, I gotta make me something that could console me. I know she was bad. I know she was gorgeous. You understand me? But he didn't create anything else before he created himself again. But he said, I want to do it different. The Minister Ava quoted in a lecture on YouTube that's called I think it's literally called The Second Self of God. It's a beautiful lecture for everybody out there. Please go watch it. She's in a white garment and she's in LA. And it's called, I do believe, The Second Self of God. And
yeah, I show my wife.
I
said I show my wife that. That's one of the lectures made her register. So I definitely recommend it.
Yeah, it's so good. So she quoted the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and he said that Allah created the woman. This is not a perfect quote. That he created the woman to stop his search for another man. And not like another man in like the physical, like reproductive sense, but he wanted to stop his search of a friend. So he made one, and he studied himself first. Now imagine, this is the creator of the heavens and the earth. He studied himself first, and he said, my best friend. And while I'm thinking in my subconscious and digging deep, I'm seeing that there's another person in here. I need to create that person, and it's gonna be my wife. It's gonna be my best friend. Could he have made another man? Yeah, it's the creator. He did it before, he could do it again. But he was like,
Glad he did.
Glad
he didn't. Glad he didn't.
So it says in the Holy Quran, the male is not like the female. He did not want to do that again. He already did it. He wanted to do something else. He wants something. He wanted to create something to console him. I'm sorry, but like chest wasn't going to console him. He needed like bosoms. Like he needed someone to hug him. He needed something a little softer. He needed something that can speak his language. So this goes to the question of oppressed. And water, Minister Ava says, water seeks its level, not sink, like goes down. Water seeks. So I'm sitting here with a glass of water, right? Water seeks its level. It's not coming out of the glass. Like it goes to the level that it's contained in, right? So Allah needed to create something that when he speaks, it can understand what he's saying and have something to say back. Allah had to create a woman, had to create literally mercy, because that's what a woman is, that the Honorable Mrs. Farrakhan teaches, that the woman is mercy personified. He had to create this being that if he was feeling like, being God is rough work, she had to be able to give him a word of wisdom, not something silly. She had to be able to have something in her that she can give him, had to give a word that God can listen to. You know what I'm saying? Yes, so no, in the Nation of Islam, we are not oppressed. We're not taught oppression. We're not abused, any of that stuff. If anything, we are raised to the highest pinnacle of the top of the mountain. We are taught a nation can rise no higher than its woman. Yes. So hell, if we oppressed, then everybody oppressed.
Yes, ma'am. Some females may watch this and say, I want to study the teachings. I want to accept the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, but I'm afraid of covering my hair, covering my body, because I'm afraid men won't like me if I'm covered up. So what do you have to say about that?
I have a ring on my finger, right? Which means I'm married. And my husband did not see none of that. He didn't like try to, he didn't taste the thing before he like committed to it, like none of that. Like I was a perfectly wrapped bar until we got married.
Praise be to Allah.
It didn't take him a whole long time. We met in February, we got married in September. Like this is honestly, this is the protection. Meanwhile, mine is falling off. This is the protection that will have a man chasing you, to be honest. To be honest. So the FOI we're taught, the minister said he wanted the FOI to be the envy of men, right? The envy of all men, and then the desire of women. Not meaning he wants men to hate us and stuff like that, or women to be like falling all over and men catching those women because she desires me, so I'm gonna go get her, stuff like that. No, that when you see a man of God, it's like, dang, I want to be a man of God. When you see a man of God, it's like, wow, I want that to be the father to my children. I want to live with that type of man. So same thing with the woman. When you see a woman of God, we're not like anybody else. Like the women in the Nation of Islam is not like anybody else. what does that do? If opposites attract, and that's a law, which it is, if opposites attract, what does that do for a man that is used to women? Literally, we are on internet and you see everything but somebody's like butthole. Sorry for the slack, for the lack of better words. It's like everything is online. So honestly, I'm the most intriguing thing they got. The MGT, the most intriguing thing out here. The FOY with y'all covered up. Meanwhile, I could go on social media and see hundreds of six packs and beer bellies and all types of stuff all day, and men throwing themselves on social media. Seeing the man covered up and looking dignified, like, yeah, let me actually see about that.
Yes, ma'am. You know, a lot of people see the nation, they see the certain way of life, the 1 meal a day, the 5 prayers, the not even, like you said, the participating in Christmas and Easter.
Right.
So for a lot of people, some people that even throws them off. So what do you say to people that's like, man, y'all Muslims is boring. Y'all ain't doing nothing. Y'all just serious all the time. Can you have fun? And can you like laugh and enjoy yourself being in the Nation of Islam or being a striving Muslim?
Absolutely. I've been laughing this whole time. Yeah, absolutely. You can laugh and enjoy yourselves. When we grew up, we had, like I said before, my father had it so that all of the children were like around each other. We always had, our house was constantly packed for summer stuff, like constantly packed. Everybody bringing their food, we dancing, like it's love. Like being righteous doesn't mean being boring. And I think that's the thing that needs to be, it's almost the idea of making, you ever heard the saying where it's like, it's modest and it's cute, or like making modest fashion cute? Like, you don't have to make modest fashion cute. If you know how to put stuff together and you have style, it's just fashion. It's going to be cute. If you don't have style, then you just don't. If you do, then you do. It's kind of like, period. So same thing with like having fun. You don't have to drink to have fun. Are you boring? Do you have a personality? Do you know how to make jokes? Are you charming? Are you quick with being able to have a comeback? Like that's the real proof if you have a good personality or not. Yes, are you like, just be who you are. Like being righteous doesn't mean I don't have rhythm. It mean I can't dance. That's like a God-given ability. Either you could be unrighteous and have no rhythm at all. Can't dance whatsoever. So yeah, of course you can have fun. You can absolutely have fun. We always have fun. Always have fun. And I wish I had this video like on deck so I could show it. The minister wanted all of the youth to come together. We do it every year for Savior's Day. Of course, not like pandemic, since the pandemic and stuff, but every Savior's Day prior to that, we always had youth socials where we would be jumping. Like, it's absolutely amazing. You got rappers coming out, all of that stuff. And one Savior's Day in particular, this was 2019. Yeah, I think it was either 2018 actually. And the minister came up and you got a room. It was packed full of youth. When I tell you packed, like concert packed full of youth. And the minister came out and he was just in awe of the rappers. Ooh. Okay. Babe, can you help me? My light fell. He was in awe of the youth, of the rappers, of how we were just having righteous fun with each other. And this is the leader of our Nation of Islam. He didn't come in there and be like, stop all of this, stop all this dancing, stop all this having fun. He came in there and he was like, yes, yes. Even when Master Prophet Muhammad was amongst us, they had socials. Like, this is nothing new. We learned this from the God. We had socials, we had fun, all of that stuff. So yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I'm on your, just talking about how you're married. You got beautiful married couple, by the way. I just want to say that. But and saying your husband.
I'm sorry, say it again.
I'm saying I'm on your YouTube right now, and I
Oh,
see and going on, you being married and everything. And I said, beautiful couple, by the way. Send your husband the greetings. It says that you guys got married and you guys had no sex before. In this world, it's like, how in the hell?
right.
So can you just go into that? You don't feel like you was missing out? Some people say, man, I gotta test the goodies. I gotta, what I'm saying, I gotta adapt a little bit into there. So how was that? How did you guys still, some people say, how do you even build love without that intimacy?
It just fell. They say that sex is like 10% of actual marriage. You just slide it over here. Thank you. That sex is 10% of your marriage. So then you have like a whole nother 90% that half of the time we don't cultivate, and then find out when we get married, we don't actually like each other. Mm-hmm. So me and my husband didn't have any of that before we got married. We went through the courtship process. I don't need that. We went through the courtship process, and we were both very clear on what we were walking into. We were both very clear on what we did not want to do, what we did want to do, all that stuff. And we spent so much time just talking, because when you don't do all the other stuff, not only did we not not only did we not fornicate, we didn't kiss. We wasn't all hugging up on each other and stuff like that. So it made time that I had to figure out who I was marrying. Like, why is it that 50% of marriages fail? I'm not saying that they necessarily fail because they fornicated, but I can say that some questions wasn't being asked. Mm-hmm. And if they were being asked, the answer, even if the question was being asked and they were given an answer, what intimacy does is blinds it. So I can ask you a question and I can get the answer, even if it's not a satisfactory answer, my mind is on, but I'm already involved. I was willing to leave the courtship at any time because I have no points. There's nothing that we built in this. I'm not tied to you like body wise and like all smoke and mirrors. And same with him. If it wasn't going to work out, it wasn't going to work out. All right, let's move it along. Let's move it along. Assalamu alaikum, beloved. And we would have been regular rank and file in the nation. I'm his brother, he's my sister, or I'm his sister, he's my brother. And we wouldn't have to worry about like tearing up like family and all that stuff. So it's absolutely possible. And I think more people do it than we give credit for. More people go into marriage without doing that than we actually give credit for. I can name several in our nation right now who have successful marriages. And they are happy and they're adorable. Yes, and ma'am. They did it right.
Yes, ma'am. That's all the questions I have. I want to thank you for coming on your little brother's platform, small platform trying to build up right now. Perfect. And I appreciate you coming on here. I just really appreciate you coming on here. I definitely look forward to hopefully building with you in the future with this digital. Yes, sir. And I just want to send your family the greetings, send your husband the greetings, man. Definitely would want to have him on here if he's interested.
That'd be great.
And definitely, like, you guys married couples, me and my wife want to have kind of a married couples little podcast thing, but that's just talk right now. But in the future, definitely would like to build with you, and may Allah continue to bless and protect you and your family and continue to keep doing the good work that you do.
Thank you. And you too, beloved. And thank you for having me on. Of course, give your wife the greetings, all that good stuff. And it was something else I wanted to say. It happens all the time now. A thought will come in, and as soon as it's in there, it's out of there and it's gone. It's skipping to its move down the street. I forgot what it was, but thank you for having me on. Thank you for reaching out to me. I'm definitely humbled. no matter how many times like I do interviews, it's always, I'll be like, ugh, when people reach out like, hey, would you come on? Okay. So I definitely humble, and I thank you so much and keep doing your great work for us.
Thank you so much. Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum to your husband, and continue to keep doing the beautiful work. Yes, ma'am.